That's something that like I'm gonna chase to hopefully reach that level of acting, to be in a role like that.
Brady, how are you doing today?
How's it going? I'm pretty good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing good. Congratulations on this movie. These types of movies are always a blast for me. Like, I see something that has body switching. I'm automatically sold and in. For you, what was it about this project that made you want to sign on? Was it maybe like the duality of the character? Was it the cast?
I think it was a little mixture of both. I mean, obviously when you're reading for something with Ed Helms and Jen Garner in it, you're definitely enthusiastic about it and you definitely want to try your best. But I mean, I really kind of fell in love with the script almost immediately, right when I got to my first audition. Because they had sent me sides and I was like, you need to send me a script. Like, because I read all my sides and I was like, I want to read this whole thing. Like I was hooked immediately. I thought the story was super unique and different. And the fact that we now have a body swap movie that swaps the whole family, which has like never been done before. And just to shoot in LA with McG, an amazing director with long list of things that he's accomplished. And it was just a really good role that I had the opportunity to play. And I'm super grateful that I got to work with everyone, and it's been such an amazing experience.
And I feel like what was different about this one is you kind of had a mashup of every drama, like it or every genre. It had like the comedy, it had the drama, but you also had like the gross out humor a little bit, and you had the action, like with the car scene. Like, which part of that aspect was your favorite to kind of jump into?
Man, personally, I like the comedy part. Just because I've always liked laughter in movies. I always think that it adds like a brace to the audience and to the people that watch it. Just like a good laugh. And I mean, that's really what I was going for when I was playing the character of Bill, and really tried to bring out that humor in my body even.
And when linking up with Ed, what was your favorite thing that you got to portray from his character and that you got to see him kind of bring to life that you did in your character?
I really admire how Ed took Wyatt's character and made him so lovable. Like it was really Ed that did the heavy duty on Wyatt, and shows Wyatt's character development. He's the one that portrays that growth that Wyatt has. Because I'm in the father's body, but I just really admire how he kept that heart of Wyatt, while also showed that he's growing up, and now he does want different things, and now he doesn't want to go to college, and he does want the girl, and there's just so much to that, and I think Ed did just an amazing job.
And this movie is also about kind of appreciating the people in your life and misconceptions and all that. But as watching the other actors in this movie who are all fantastic, what is something that you maybe learned from each of them that you might take with you?
Man, I feel like I learned so much from everyone that was a part of this project, even down to the crew, and down to not even the main cast. I feel like I just learned so much in general. I mean, I think I learned a lot from Jen about like how just being nice will just get you so far, because she's just such a genuine person. Everyone just, it just really clicked, and I mean that, like, everyone showed up to work like on time. They always knew their lines. They always came prepared. They came with a good attitude. McG came with great spirit, and it was just so much fun to make, and it really popped on camera and showed. And I think that the fact that we had so much fun and so much creative freedom on this was the reason why it turned out so good.
And when I see these body switching things, I always wonder what it'd be like to like go into and switch with some fictional character and live in their world for a day, whether it's like a TV show, a movie, even animated. I know you did Ninja Turtles, and that would have been my choice. For you, what is that fictional world or character that you would love to just like spend a day in their shoes?
Man, I think I feel like I have to go with the turtles. I mean, like TMNT. I mean, just a bunch of turtles kicking ass. I mean, that's pretty sick. So I think I'd play Raphael and hang out with my turtle bros and fight some crime.
Absolutely love that. And congratulations on the new one, because that movie was fantastic. And I've been a fan of that my whole life. My parents actually just sent me my VHS tapes, and they sent me like my first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
That's
it's
awesome.
you guys are carrying that legacy very, very well. My last question is like, what is something that you haven't done yet in this movie world and TV world? Because you've done sports, you've done now the action and the voice animation, the family comedy. What is that one thing you'd love to kind of push yourself to do and that risk out of your comfort zone?
I really do. Oh, man, that's such a great question. I mean, there's so many different genres that I would like to do. I mean, personally, like I really would like to do like a serious role. Like, have you ever seen the movie Beautiful Boy? One of the greatest movies, like, like in my opinion, one of the greatest movies I've ever written. Like, I would love to be a part of like a deep storyline like that. And I feel like that's something that that I gravitate towards, and that's something that like I'm gonna chase to hopefully reach that level of acting, to be in a role like that. But I mean, that's who knows what the future brings. And so yeah, but I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd probably choose a drama role.
What drew you to this? Since this is something that's been done, so many times before, how did you kind of like want to put your own spin on it?
Well, I think you said it best. I love these movies. I can scarcely think of one that I didn't like. Like, I love Freaky Friday and 17 again, 13 going on 30. I love The Change Up. I love Face Off. I consider Big a body swap. I love Jumanji.
Oh yeah.
So all of these make me smile, and the thought of contributing to that genre was exciting. And I think, oh well, we could make it original by making it 6 ways: father, son, mother, daughter, baby dog. And at that point, I'm like, well, if I can keep track of all that in my head, maybe the audience will have some giggles and some fun along the way.
Let me tell you, I laughed so much when I saw the baby and the dog switch. It just like was one of my favorite parts. And I love that you also paid tribute to some of those movies that you did mention. So it's kind of fun when you see a movie that knows what it is. What was it like kind of putting those little Easter eggs into this movie?
I love Easter eggs, and I love just being self-aware so the audience can go, oh, okay, the filmmaking team gets it. We can relax and just enjoy the movie, and we know that we're with people that are along for the ride with us. And I think that sort of reference of like, no kid has ever woken up big before. I'm 17 again. I'm 13 going on 30. When you do that, it's delivered by very talented actors, and hopefully brings a smile to those at home who are watching a little bit more closely.
And obviously the casting is very pivotal for a movie like this to work. What was it like matching up these actors together?
It's very challenging because Jennifer is so powerful that you can't just put anybody in a 2-shot with her. And we knew when we saw Emma just exploding out of Wednesday with her Enid character, hey, that girl's very, very special. And then I knew just seeing them stand next to each other, hey, she has enough velocity and enough magic to stand up with Jen in a 2-shot. Then, of course, Ed is fantastic, and The Hangover and The Office and everything he's done, Vacation. I knew he was going to be dynamite. And I saw Brady Noon do I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner at the end of Good Boys. And I'm like, okay, give me that kid, because he's amazeballs.
And I love bloopers, and I was so excited to see that there was a blooper reel at the end of this. But even just watching the movie, I was like, I don't know how you could get through a scene with Jennifer and Ed together. What was like the one particular scene for you that maybe stood out, that had the most takes, or that you just couldn't get through?
Definitely the kiss, where it's a brother-sister kiss as embodied by Jen and Ed. And they were both just, it was a particularly fun day. They were already laughing, and then just like going in, and Ed starts to do the like double clutch lizard thing, and Jen starts laughing and he starts laughing, and they couldn't get through a take, and they were like snot bubbling on each other, and they were spitting and goobering, and because they were so close about to kiss, and that only made it funnier. And that was super fun, and it was about 20 takes, and I think I'm going to string together all those outtakes and put that online or something.
Yes, please. I ask for it. You've done so many amazing things in your career, from obviously starting with, music videos, but then you've tackled things, whether it's producing or directing, in sort of every genre. I'm curious, like, if you were to go back to any of those worlds for one day, on the topic of like switching and stuff, what is one world that you've been a part of that you would love to just kind of immerse in for a day again?
I like the idea of 1970s West Virginia from We Are Marshall, the movie I did with Matthew McConaughey. Because it's just, I like the idea of a simple rural life, because it's the opposite of the life I'm living. So that was sort of an idealized time that would be fun to live in. Better that than the world of Terminator.
Although that would be pretty action-packed.
Action-packed, and who doesn't love to blow up a gas station now and then?
There'd be nothing boring about it. Last thing, like I said, you have done so much as a filmmaker. What, though, is something that maybe is outside your comfort zone, or a risk that you haven't taken yet that you kind of are itching to do?
I feel like my best work is ahead of me, and I want to be very careful with what I choose next. But I would very much like to make a musical. My favorite musical of all time is Spring Awakening. I loved La La Land. I thought that was incredible. Damien Chazelle is really a special filmmaker. There's no doubt about it. Babylon had tastes of that, Whiplash as well. But if I could ever find the right musical, like, you know, a remake of Cabaret or something, I think that'd be because my movies are fundamentally musicals, but they're not. So if I could ever immerse myself completely in that genre, I think that'd be really exciting.
I think the dog and the baby are spending too much time together.
What's my age again?